Alright, so I'm going to do this question here by completing the square, and this is an example when a equals 1. So the first thing you're going to do is, I kind of started with each class by starting out with just writing y equals, y equals x squared plus 6x plus 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place x squared plus 6x into brackets plus 2. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to think, or I'm going to figure out what is the value that goes right here to complete that square. So I'm going to think in my head and I'm going to do a bit of math, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 6 or my b term. I'm going to say that 6 divided by 2 squared equals 3 squared equals 9. So I'll rewrite it as y equals x squared plus 6x plus 9 minus 9 plus 2. And the reason why we do this step right here is if we didn't take away 9 and add 9, we'd actually be changing the expression. But by adding or bringing in a 0 pair, or positive 9 and negative 9, there's 0 pair, we are then able to keep the expression the same and just kind of manipulate things a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take care of that negative 9 and plus 2. So I know that negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. There we go. My writing's a little bit neater tonight too. I think I changed my grip style and it's helping a bit. So the next thing I do is I'm going to now take this value right here, and that trinomial I'm going to factor it. So what I'm going to do is in my head I'm going to think of a times plus table, and I'm going to think what multiplies to make positive 9 and add to make positive 6. And my two factors would be positive 3 and positive 3. So what I do is I factor and I get y equals x plus 3, x plus 3 minus 7. And then I can finish off with y equals x plus 3 squared minus 7. And we can even say something like the vertex is at negative 3, 7 because of our values that we have right here and here. But that's pretty much how you convert from standard to factored form by completing the square. Okay, so again, we're going to complete the square to convert from standard to vertex form. I'm going to take a minute and rewrite out my expression. So there we go. There's my expression written out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my two terms in brackets so I can partially, or not partially, that's in the next video I'll make in about 5 minutes. 8x is in brackets plus 13. So the next thing I do is I now work on my value so I can complete that square. So I'm going to think right in here, what am I going to insert in here to complete the square? And so I know I need to add, so I need to take my b value, which is negative 8, and divide it by 2, and then square it. So that equals negative 4 squared, which equals 16. So I know that y equals x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 16 plus 13 is how we're going to complete that square. This right here is my 0 pair right there. So that's my 0 pair. That doesn't change my expression because they combine to make 0, so I haven't changed my expression. So I say y equals, and I'm just going to take a second and I'm going to factor this right here. I'm going to kind of cut my steps down, and in my head I'm going to think, okay, what multiplies to positive 16 and add to negative 8? And my two factors in this case would have to be negative 4 and negative 4 are going to multiply to 16 and add to negative 8. So I'll write x minus 4 squared. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take negative 16 and add 13. So I know that negative 16 plus 13 makes negative 3. And I can even say my vertex is going to be 4 comma negative 3 from that information as well. All right.